Welcome back, y'all. So this is video 4, part 4 of Super Snake. Let's get ready and fight. I have gotten quite far on the previous video that you guys seen up to this point. We have gotten a few more things done. A tail dampener is put together. We're going to be moving on to creating now the body dampener for the front, and possibly moving on to a few other portions of the build in this video. I don't plan on making this one as long as the last couple. I think it's going to be a shorter video because we're pretty much done here. And then I'm going to do one more video based on what body I'm going to be using for the car and painting the paint scheme that I'm going to go with. So with a little bit of talking, let's dive into what we want to get into. So with the tail dampener made, I ended up using obviously some green car catcher. I am happy with how it turned out. It's coming along quite nicely. And because after I got done with the last video, I started working on the car more. I had some other little carbon pieces that I cut into some nice little strips, and they were inserted onto the side here. Let's see it better. There you go. As you guys know, in the Super 2 you have these like inserts that you could put from Tamiya. They sell these inserts, but instead of buying theirs and looking for them, I made some carbon ones and cut them exactly right and popped them in. They turned out really cool, and they actually did stiffen up the chassis a bit. On this side I cut like a little more of a recessed area so you could get to the clip easier, and I actually ended up on top of doing that little recessed area, I took the clip and I shaved down the ends of the clip just a little bit so they can hook in easier, like so. Because this side I didn't do the recessed area, so now it hooks in real tight, you know. It has very good clearance, very tight like a tiger. And then this side, because it has a recessed area, it clips in real nice too. And so there you go, you got some stiffening to the chassis. I got the tail dampener now, tail dampening, and with that we can move on to the body dampener. Let's get her done. So in the previous uploaded video, which would be video number 3, I had in the images and I talked about a little bit of the body damper I was going to be using. It is going to be the same kind of style that I used before on the reverse Super 2 build, whereas a single, I called it the mono damper design. It is very different compared to a lot of others setups I've done. Anyways, I liked it because of it being, well, the look and the functionality of it. But with this build that I'm doing of this Super 2, I didn't want it to go be as long, but I did like the design, and so I went with this similar kind of design on this, but it's still a little too long. So I'm going to be cutting this rear portion off, and if you see there's an eyelet or hole there, we're going to make a slit into that hole and put this guy, and this will be holding the weights. So I already started it. Obviously, I gave it a go. I test fit it already, all super glued together, and it ended up being a little too long. The cross section landed for the body damper to actually hold the weights. It was gonna hold the weights a little too far back than I wanted it to. So you could see where it was gonna land, or where it was landing. It was onto the battery clip, which for one, it's gonna end up popping the battery clip off, and two, it's way too far back for the actual weights to give function without, let's say, putting it like this and then building off of the body damper and putting like arms to go forward and then hold the weights, which it's not my style. I don't do it very often. Because if I could build a body damper to be proper and sit where I actually want it to, then the functionality of it is obviously going to be that much better. And so this is where basically we want the body dampener to fall, is literally right there, right behind the wheels. So we're getting close. We have the front of the body damper at least sorted, and it is nice and straight. Yeah, got the eyelets in this guy. So we're gonna move on to shaping this rear off, cutting it, making a slit like I said, getting this in there, and progression is on its way. We're progressing to getting the body damper on the car and having a pretty much a fully functional machine other than the body. So let's get to it and I'll be right back. Oh yeah, and just like that, it falls in place as it should. We just took off that little point on the clip and look how it falls in place. So nice. It drops into the batteries basically. So cool. All right, we got a little problem because I was just looking at with just a test screw and some test weights. I don't like where the weights end up because they end up too far back. They're just right here when they need to be like right here. So I have a piece of pre-cut carbon fiber. It was a body dampener from an old build, but I have it modified to looking like this with these cool wings. As you see, I have that pink mark. I'm gonna cut these wings off, and like I said earlier, it's not really my style to run the underneath ones. So we're going to do something here to make this body damper look a little spicier and function with the dimensions I want. And well, with how crazy this whole setup already looks, why not make the body damper just look as crazy, you know? So here we go with a little bit more detail to the details. Alright, a little update on the body damper. I got it glued together and these new arms are on. This is going to be the final, you could say, design for this body damper, for this build. I believe I'm still going to drill out these holes that are left here and pin them. Like I said, I'm still going to super glue this and add the carbon dust to make it even more reinforced. So we've reached a conclusion to today's video. We have gotten all what we transpired that we wanted to get done today done. Got the body damper on, got the tail damper on, full machine pretty much ready to test, which I was thinking of putting in this video, but I honestly want to test the car with the body. So we're gonna add a testing clip to the next video once the body's on and all ready to go. Like I was saying earlier in this video, I don't use the little rubber like O-rings for the spring back, and the reason is because I like to run this certain setup that uses the little rubber here and here, and then on top is you put a nut, and the nut ends up giving tension to, and you tension each of these the same. Okay, so you go like a coilover, like one turn here, two turn, one turn, two turn, and then it gives it a little bit more tension, and the spring back is faster. Not just faster, but also limits it a little bit more. I prefer it this way. I've always ran this way, and it hasn't failed me yet. So with that explanation said, here we go. We got the maroon tires on the back now too. Pretty much a solid setup for a Super 2, especially with it being a new design for me, a new chassis for me. Really excited. So I hope you're as excited as I am. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, comment, subscribe, it's all free. So is this video. So thank you guys. Always love your company. So God bless. See you later.
you.